What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Sports Prodigies podcast with your hosts. I'm Aiden.
And I'm Jeremy.
And today we are honored to bring on former Miami guard Dejan Vasiljevic. Say what's up, Dejan.
What up, fellas?
What's going on? What you been up to?
Not much. I'm in New Jersey right now, just chilling with my girlfriend and her family, working out and waiting for my pro career to kick off.
Sweet.
That's amazing, and we wish the best for you, obviously, in the months to come. I think the NBA draft is kind of up in the air. When did they say it was going to be?
I think October 15th is their set date, but you never know. They could probably push it earlier or push it back, just depending on the NBA playoffs and how that the whole situation with the COVID-19 turns out.
Yes, and we hope, obviously, you and your family are safe during this time.
Yeah, my family are doing well. They're in Australia right now, and they're getting back to normal and starting to open up everything, so everything's back to normal for them.
That's great. So let's get into these questions. So, Dejan, when did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball at the age of 12 years old. My sister's actually the one who actually got me into basketball. She started at a younger age. She started at 6. There's a 4-year difference between us, so she started 2 years earlier and then got me into it.
Did you play like any other sports before that?
I was into like soccer and Australian football, just because I got used to playing all that stuff. But I also played tennis, played some cricket and stuff like that.
No, I see. All like the sports that aren't so accustomed to America.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, what would you say was your favorite moment while attending Miami?
Oh, my favorite moment. I have a couple of them. I think I have 3 that can all be number one. I think the first one is probably my freshman year, senior night for Davon Reed and Kamari Murphy. We played Duke. I think they were ranked somewhere in the top 10, and we ended up beating them, and the fans stormed the court. That's pretty memorable for me. The second one would probably be Jaquan Newton's game winner against UNC my sophomore year. And then lastly, my senior game when I had my sister and my 2 best friends along with my girlfriend and her family come and watch us beat Syracuse at home.
Wow, those are amazing moments and definitely moments that will stick with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no doubt.
How many games was your family able to come to from Australia?
It was only my sister and my 2 best friends, but they only got to see the last 2 games against Virginia and Syracuse.
Okay. So we're going to take a little stop in the podcast to talk about our sponsor. Today, we are sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best shaving company known to man. From personal experience, it helps me get trimmed and never cuts myself while shaving. What do you have to say, Jeremy?
Yeah, Manscaped's great. All I got to say is that your balls will thank you.
That is true. Your balls will thank you after using Manscaped. So, like I said, Manscaped is the best. To get your own Manscaped, go to manscaped.com and use SP2020 to get 20% off and free shipping. Once again, use capital SP2020 to get 20% off and your own Manscaped products. So let's get back to the questions. So what stood out about Miami during your recruitment process, Dejan?
I think this just had a balance of both basketball and school. Both my parents are highly educated, and basketball is not a forever thing. So if you could potentially have a career-ending injury early in your career, and you have to have something to back up on. And I was lucky enough to get my undergrad degree in 3 years, and I just finished my master's degree for my 4th year. So I've got 2 degrees in the bag, and I will definitely be using them once basketball is done.
Yeah, that's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What would you say is like the highlight of your career so far?
The highlight of my career in college or just general?
Just in general.
I think when we claimed a silver, I was in the under 17 FIBA World Championships, where Australia claimed a silver medal against the U.S. We came second to the U.S. We lost them by 7 points, but we played against the likes of Jason Tatum, Josh Jackson, Terrence Ferguson, Diamond Stone. I can name off the whole team is pretty much in the NBA right now. So to only lose by 7, and I was also named an All-Star 5, so that's pretty memorable to me.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I was actually going to ask you later, but what has it been like to represent Australia on the international stage?
I mean, it's always a great honor to put on the green and gold, and a lot of people don't get the chance, or if they do, they don't get many like I have so far. And I mean, it's just great. You go out there; it's a different experience. You play against different countries around the world, and you get to learn about everyone else's culture. You get to bond with guys from your country also. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope, and especially if you're representing your country, it's an amazing honor to even be selected. So it sounds awesome. It probably is awesome. So that's great. On the basketball court, Dejan, what would you say is your best skill?
My best skill is probably scoring the basketball and shooting a three-pointer. I was a well-renowned three-point shooter in the world and, throughout college. So I think that's my greatest skill. But I think I've been able to, be more versatile and getting to the rim and creating shots in a different way and not just shoot the three and settle on that. So I think I'm becoming more diverse and more versatile.
And what would you say you would need to work on the most?
I think you always got to work on everything. You're not perfect. But for me, I think it's on the defensive end. I mean, you got to be able to guard guys in the league who are much quicker, much stronger, much more athletic. So, staying in the weight room and being able to work on my lateral quickness is definitely what I have to improve.
Most definitely. And we were talking about the NBA earlier. What are you doing right now during the coronavirus? Obviously, a lot of things are shut down, but what are you doing currently to help you prepare for the NBA draft?
I mean, I'm just doing anything I can right now, which is, working out on court, being able to lift and do a lot of cardio. So I've been able to get in a few pickup games here and there, which is good for me also. But, I've had some interviews with teams from the NBA and, that's going pretty well. And, my agent's doing a fantastic job on that end. But, I'm just trying to, stay prepared for wherever I go.
Has like the pandemic affected like how or what your training is?
I think it's affected in a way where the first couple of weeks you were not allowed to be in contact with anyone, so it was hard to find a gym. And right after the season was done, I was meant to be in Atlanta working out and getting ready for the NBA workouts and NBA draft, and now this is postponed for about 3 to 4 months. So I mean, I think it slowed down everyone, but anyone who's had access to a court outside is being able to keep going.
Yeah. So who would you say was the hardest person you've ever had to guard?
Uh, I'm not gonna say anyone in college because I think I got the hardest person I've ever had to guard throughout my career is Jamal Murray, especially at the under 17 World Championships. He's so versatile. He's 6'5", he's athletic, can shoot the three, can create for others. Like that's why he's in the NBA and making money and playing a hard major role for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's an amazing player and definitely probably somebody really hard to guard. How cool is it to be number 2 on Miami's all-time three-point list?
I mean, it's just shows how much work I've put in, and being able to play and make an impact. I guess it's pretty cool to me. Like when you work so hard, you expect accolades and success from it. But that's just one of my successes that I've had over my career, and I'll look back at it. But I just got to keep pushing forward, and not just worry about, hey, I've done that, but I want to achieve more.
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. It's at such a high level of school in the ACC to be number 2 on their 3-point list. So, where do you see yourself playing professional basketball?
I mean, I've got, in Australia, I can play the NBL anytime, but I think my goal right now is the NBA. And if that doesn't work out my first year or the first 2 years, go somewhere in high level Europe, either in Spain or somewhere in the Euro League or Euro Cup, and then try and make my way back into the NBA.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. And we wish you the best, obviously, hoping that you get drafted in the NBA or signed. And whatever happens, I feel like it's always a journey, and everybody's journey ends up somewhere. So we wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And the last question that we got for you today is, what do you want our viewers to know about you that they might not know already?
Just that I'm just a regular guy trying to, be involved in the community. I think people don't see me on that side. They only see me as a basketball player, but they don't see the real side of me, and that's, being able to give back or being able to, help those in need. And, I'm just a cool laid back guy that just trying to live a life like everyone else. Yeah, I play basketball, but I'm also a regular kid. In school, people looked at me as a basketball player and, kind of famous if I wanted to say, but, I remained humble and I just said, don't worry about it. I'm just a regular kid going to school like you guys. I'm doing stuff for the community and stuff like that. I'm just generally laid back and just a cool guy, I guess.
That's great.
So I have one more question. What was like the transition from Australia to coming to the States?
I mean, I've been to the States a couple of times beforehand, but just making that transition to Miami is, I think it helped me when I was playing in a professional league in Australia before I came to college. So I was already playing against grown men. So that kind of gave me the confidence and the boost on the court. But just trying to adapt to, the lifestyle of Miami, they call it the party life, and, trying to adapt to living away from home and taking care of myself. It's pretty difficult, but, that's how you learn. That's how you become a man. And, it just took me a little while to adjust.
And I got one last thing for you. So obviously high school recently, there's been a couple people going over to Australia and New Zealand, like LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton. Would you recommend that? Coming from Australia, would you recommend like that's going to help you get ready for the NBA or college? Like, would you recommend that for a kid?
I mean, if you're meant to go to the draft and you don't want to go to college, and if you're not definitely don't want to stay, if you let me just put it like this. If you think you're a one and done player and don't want to go to college, then I think either the G League or the NBL is the best process. You're going to play against, especially in the NBL, you're going to play against guys anywhere between the ages of 20 to 35 who have got that Olympic experience. Some of them already played in the NBA and decided to finish their careers off in the NBL. And some of the teams are fully professional. Like they have better facilities than some teams in the league, in the NBA, and they take good care of us and will take good care of you. So, I mean, if you're a one and done player and don't want to go to college, go for it. I'm not saying not to, but if you think you're going to be in college for 2 to 3 years, then I think college is the best thing for you.
Okay. And that's going to wrap it up for today. Dejan, we want to thank you for coming. We want to thank you for coming on. It means a lot to us, and we hope that you have the most success in the future, and we can't wait to see you.
No problem. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, of course.
That's going to wrap it up for today. Like I said during the podcast, go get your Manscaped products at manscaped.com by using the code capital SP2020 to get 20% off and free shipping. If you're listening on YouTube, go subscribe and like this video, and can't wait to watch more videos. If you're on Spotify, go follow. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, go follow. Signing off with your hosts, I'm Aiden.
And I'm Jeremy.
And everybody have a great day. Thank you.